Hello and welcome to Develop It, Drag It, and Drop It in Autodesk AutoCAD. What I'm going to show you here is that AutoCAD has many drag and drop features that aren't documented. I'm going to show you how to add, load different types of files using AutoCAD. And the files we're going to use today are drawing files, as you can see here, templates, lisp files, programmable files, script files, which actually are text files that run commands on the command line, and a text file containing notes, and finally XREFs. I'm going to use a PDF and I'm actually going to use an image, and we're going to drag it and drop it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out our drawing, and I'm just bringing up a blank drawing. So what I want to do is actually see how I have a few drawings here, and I want to bring this floor plan in. I don't just want to open it up. I want to open it up. I don't want to insert it as a block. There's two ways to do this. I'm going to hold it, drag it. I can drag it into the Start tab or the Drawing tab, or up into the application menu, the big red A. I'm simply going to drag into the Start tab, and you'll see what happened is AutoCAD opened up that drawing file. So that's one way to do that. I'm going to close out of my drawing file. I'm going to be on the Start tab here, or on the Start window. I'm going to go back to my Windows Explorer, and I just want to bring in these two as blocks. Remember, before I did up in here in the tabs, 1 and 2 are up there. Now if I go into the active drawing area, what happens is AutoCAD's going to bring that image in, or that drawing file, as a block. Let's try that one more time with the car. Dragging it into the area there, and you'll see it brings it in as a block. So those are two ways to bring drawing files in. And remember, if you select any of the tabs or the application menu, what AutoCAD's going to do is going to actually open up that drawing. And if you select in the command line area in here, it's actually going to insert those as blocks. So next up on our drag and drop would be templates. So I want to start a new drawing. I have a template from a company, from a title block. There's three ways to do this. Number one would be into the plus area here, under the Start tab, or under the application menu. Same concept. If I hit the plus there, what AutoCAD's going to do is going to pull my template in. You'll notice it's not the actual template file. The name of the template file is ANSI title block. It actually created it as a template file and brought it in. So I'm going to X out of here again and show you that one more time, and we're going to use the application menu. We're going to bring it up here and hit the application menu. You'll see drawing 4 came up, and there's my template. So that's another way to drag a template into your drawing. I'm going to close out of here, remaining on the Start tab. Next up would be lisp files. Lisp files are programmable files that help you develop and use things. So I'm going to double click this and show you a simple Lisp routine. Define the function. C is the command prompt, and I call this one ZO, which is zoom to the extents, and then 0.9x. And then there's all these zoom commands, zoom all, zoom extents, and they do it by a certain X factor. And then here you can see, the reason I put this in here, this is an alert, a button will come up, and I put it in here to prove that the command was actually loaded, to tell the operator. So we'll draw a circle in our drawing, just so we can see the zoom effect go into effect. So circle, and then we'll go back out and we're going to drag my list file, and you'll notice one thing that's going to come up in AutoCAD 2016 for trusted locations. So if you do have a few random ones you don't need all the time, make sure it's in a trusted location. I'm going to load it, and it's going to say done loading my awesome zoom controls. Now remember the commands in the zoom controls. There was Z9, Z8, ZE, ZO. So I have all these different options of using these zoom controls in Lisp. So next up, I'm going to erase my circle. I'm going to go back out to my Explorer, and we're going to do script files. Script files. What script files are, they're actually command-driven files. So if I look at the script, it issues the dimension command and issues all these variable settings, and then at the end it exits. It saves a file named my standard and then exit the dimension command. So what I'm going to do is actually drag it in there, and I'm going to show you what happens. I ran if you type DDIM right now, see there's 2 dimensions in here, nothing in here. But what the script file does, you have to remember it's command driven, so you can't run dialog boxes. You'll have to suppress that variable. So I'm going to do the same thing and drag it in. And you see what happened? AutoCAD ran the script file and actually set it to my dimensions, and I'm going to simply close that. Now I can pull this up, the command line. You can see all the commands that were run there. through the script, but now I have a dimension file. The other script file in there I wanted to provide to you because you notice the scale list here? Sometimes it becomes convoluted or too much. There's too many of them. We obviously probably aren't going to use architectural, engineering, and scientific. So there's another script file that I wrote that actually will reset that. It's called resetDecimal.scr. If I double click it, you can see what it does. It goes to the scale edit command, resets it, and then exits. So I'll show you. Again, let's take one more look at the scales in here and we'll see how they are like that. And let's run our script file, or we'll drag it in. You'll notice that it dragged it in. When I go over to my scale bar, you'll see that everything's been cleaned up and deleted. Pretty quick way to do that. That's very efficient. Okay, next up would be text files. So you have notes. We all know that in Microsoft Word and Excel, we can cut and paste an MText. But if you have a regular text file that just has simple notes, as shown here, you can drag it into AutoCAD. Just drag it into the main window here, and you'll see it comes up in here. You'll have to do some editing for the MText width. We'll just put 2 here just so we can see it, and then double click the side there, and then you control your editing. So that's a great way of getting text files into your drawing so you can provide different editing tools from the MText editor. Lastly, I want to show you that you can also drag images and PDFs in here. So let me delete this. Continuing on, we are going to attach or use our XREFs. So I'm going to come out here, and you see number 6 would be XREFs. And I'm simply going to drag that in there into the command line area. And what it does, it brings in an image of AU Las Vegas. And let's do the same thing for the PDF file. Drag it, drop it. PDF attaches 1. I'm going to select right there. Scale of 1, rotation angle of 0. So that's a good way to bring PDF files in there. I didn't really do any more editing to it, but you can drag it and drop. The one thing I do want to make note of is when you type XREF for this, you'll notice that these 2 files have been attached via XREF. So when you drag and drop PDF images and items like that, they're dragged in as external references. So thank you. This has been a quick demonstration of how to drag and drop using Autodesk AutoCAD.